Welcome to the Central Catholic High School McGonigal Theater. It's so nice to have you here where you belong. Please refrain from consuming food or beverage in the theater, and if you must leave at any time, please do so only at a change of scene. Taking photos or video during the production is strictly prohibited and very distracting to the performers and other patrons. Remember, it only takes a moment to turn off your cell phone and other electronic devices. And now, before the parade passes by, put on your Sunday clothes for some extra elegance and say hello to the Central Catholic Oakland Catholic Masque Drama Society's production of Hello, Dolly!
Dolly Levi, born Gallagher. Ladies and gentlemen of excellent family, introduced under the most respectable conditions in an atmosphere of elegance and refinement. Object matrimony. Unfortunately, I won't be able to offer my usual lightning services today, as I have a previous appointment in Yonkers, New York, arranging the second marriage of a Mr. Horace Vandergelder, the well-known half-a-millionaire. As my late husband Ephraim Levi used to say, that means he's got at least 60,000 cash. But I'll do my best to have you carried over someone's threshold before the week is out. Now, I might also mention I'm available for financial consultation, instruction in the guitar and mandolin, short distance hauling, and, varicose veins reduced.
Call on Dolly. She's the one the spinsters recommend. Just name the kind of man your sister wants and she'll snatch 'em up. Don't forget to bring your baby dance and she'll match 'em up. Call on Dolly.
Mrs. Levi!
Mr. Kemper, the artist. You know, I'm something of an artist myself. I do those little silhouettes with scissors and black paper. Look, here's one of Ada Rehan. Looking the other way. I have to do them like that because I'm no good at noses.
Mrs. Levi, the train for Yonkers leaves in 5 minutes, and if we don't get there on time...
But we will, Mr. Kemper. And not only will Horace Vandergelder give you permission to marry his niece Ermengarde, but he will dance at your wedding. And not alone either, because I happen to be engaged in finding him a suitable second wife himself. What he really wants is someone steady to clean the house. As my late husband, Mr. Levi, used to say, marriage is a bribe to make a housekeeper think she's a householder.
I know all about it, Mrs. Levi. Half of New York says he's going to propose to Mrs. Irene Malloy this very afternoon.
Which is why I'm on my way to Yonkers this afternoon and can take on your case and knock out 4 lovebirds with 1 stone, or whatever I'll throw, I'll see. And would you look here? I have no money to pay my train fare with, only large bills, 5s and 7s.
I have some change here somewhere. I only hope this isn't a wild goose chase, Mrs. Levi.
And speaking of poultry, I'm also available for fresh Jersey eggs, surgical corsets reboned, ears pierced, pierced ears replugged.
Mrs. Levi!
Name the kind of man your sister wants and she'll snatch 'em up. Don't forget to bring your baby dance and she'll match 'em up. Call on Dolly.
Tell me, Mrs. Levi, what's in all this for you?
A living, Mr. Kemper. Some people paint, some sew. I meddle. I have always been a woman who arranges things for the pleasure and the profit it derives. I have always been a woman who arranges things like furniture, daffodils, and lives. When a man with a timid tongue meets a girl with a diffident air, why should the tortured creatures beat around the bush when heaven knows Mother Nature always needs a little push? I put my hand in here, I put my hand in there, and a girl over 6'3" loves a man who comes up to her ear. Surely it's obvious she'll never be seduced till some kind soul condescends to give her beau a little boost. I put my hand in here, I put my hand in there. I have always been a woman who arranges things. It's my duty to assist the Lord above. I have always been a woman who arranges things like luncheon parties, poker games, and love. My aplomb at cosmetic art turned a frump to a trump manly fair. He had a countenance like Scrooge, but oh, today you would swear the Lord himself applied the rouge. I put my hand in Ephraim Levi, I'm going to get married again. I'm going to marry Horace Vandergelder for his money and spread it out, circulating among the people like rainwater, the way you taught me. And I want a sign from you sometime today that you approve. Oh, it won't be a marriage in the sense that we had one, but I will certainly make him happy. And I'm tired of him. Tired of living from hand to mouth. So I want that sign.
Mrs. Levi!
Sometime today. I know, Mr. Kemper. We'll make that train, you'll get to Yonkers, and you'll marry Ermengarde. Just leave everything to me. For when my little pinky wiggles, some young maiden gets the giggles, then I make my knuckles active. Ma, he says she's so attractive. Then I move my index digit, and they both begin to fidget. Then I clench my palm, the preacher is a song when I put my hand in
Be expected to play Yonkers My Yonkers with all that bellowing in my ears.
I can't help it, Uncle. I love Ambrose Kemper.
And I say, you're too young to be in love with anybody. Here, take this.
I'm not too young. I'm 17, and in another year, I'll be an old maid.
Well, I forbid it. Dare to be an old maid, Ermengarde, and I'll cut you off without a cent. And don't cry in front of the store.
I can't help it, I'm unhappy.
Then, by thunder, you'll go and you'll weep for a while in New York. Now go upstairs and start packing your trunk. And don't get any tears in the lock, it was just oiled. Cornelius Barnaby!
You stamped Mr. Vandergelder?
I did. I've got news for you both. I am going to New York this afternoon to march in the 14th Street Association Parade. And when I come back, you are going to have a mistress.
I can't do that, Mr. Vandergelder. I'm too young.
Not yours, hell and damnation, mine. I mean, I'm getting married again. And in honor of that occasion, I've decided to promote you, Cornelius, to chief clerk.
Congratulations. That's so exciting.
What am I now, Mr. Vandergelder?
You're an impertinent fool, that's what you are. And I am promoting you from impertinent fool to chief clerk. Any questions?
Yes.
What?
Does the chief clerk get one evening off a week?
So that's the way you thank me for your promotion, is it? No, sir. You'll attend the store as usual. Now get back to work! And don't forget to put the lid on the sheep dip. Evenings off. Marrying artists. Foolishness. 99% of the people in this world are fools. And the rest of us are in great danger of contamination. Why, even I was once young, which was foolish, and got married, which was foolish, and was poor, which was more foolish than anything else. Then my wife died, which was foolish of her. I grew old, which was sensible of me, and became rich, friendless, and mean, which in Yonkers is about as far as you can go. Oh, I know what you're wondering. Why a man of such good sense would be doing anything as foolish as getting married again? Well, the answer's simple. This house, without a woman, would be an empty shell. And pretty dirty, too. Well, it takes a woman all powdered in pink to joyously clean out the drain in the sink. And it takes an angel with long golden lashes and soft dressed in fingers for dumping the ashes.
Yes, it takes a woman, a dainty woman, a sweetheart, a mistress, a wife. Oh yes, it takes a woman, a fragile woman, to bring you the sweet things in life.
The frail young maiden who's constantly there for washing and bluing and shoeing the mare. And it takes a female for setting the table and weaning the Guernsey and cleaning the stable.
Yes, it takes a woman, a dainty woman, a sweetheart, a mistress, a wife. Oh yes, it takes a woman, a fragile woman, to bring you the sweet things in life. And so she'll work until infinity. 3 cheers for femininity. Rah, 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 F-E-M-I-T-Y.
F-E-M-I-T. Get out of here! And in the winter she'll shovel the ice and lovingly set out the traps for the mice. She's a joy and treasure, for practically speaking, to whom can you turn when the plumbing is leaking?
To that dainty woman, that fragile woman, that sweetheart, that mistress, that wife. Oh, yes, it takes a woman,
A husky woman, to bring you the sweet things in life.
Oh yes, it takes a woman, a dainty woman, a sweetheart, a mistress, a wife. Oh yes, it takes a woman, a fragile woman, to bring you the sweet things in life.
All right, all of you out of here!
Congratulations, congratulations, 1,000 1,000 congratulations.
What?
Congratulations, Mr. Vandergelder. All of New York is buzzing with the news that you practically proposed to Irene Malloy. All of my congratulations and sympathies.
Sympathy?
Oh, did I say that? No, slip of the tongue, that's all. No, I'm delighted with the happy news. After all, she wasn't easy to unload. And by that I mean you know what people said, but I, for one, never believed the rumors. No, I didn't.
Rumors? What rumors?
Nothing to get upset about, Mr. Vandergelder. I mean, according to all known facts, her first husband passed on quite naturally. It's just that he went so sudden. A few spoonfuls of chowder she made special for him and bleh! Oh, but it could happen to anybody. No, there's no truth in it. Just one word of advice, Mr. Vandergelder. Eat out.
Now, look here, Mrs. Levi. You mean to say that Mrs. Malloy...
I mean to say nothing, Mr. Vandergelder. Just friendly advice. Keep away from the chowder. Oh, by the way, she's ordered her wedding gown. Beautiful, you should see it. Black. No, as I was saying, Mr. Vandergelder, congratulations on your forthcoming nuptials, and may you rest in... May guardian angels watch over you both, particularly at dinner.
Look here, Mrs. Levi. You introduced me to Mrs. Malloy, and rumors or not, I still intend on calling on her this afternoon, as arranged.
Very well, Mr. Vandergelder. Then there's nothing more for me to do but to go back to New York and tell the other girl, the heiress, not to wait.
What did you say?
Nothing. A word. Heiress.
Particulars, Mrs. Levi. I demand particulars. Her name.
Her name? Money. Ernestina Money.
What a lovely, lovely name.
Picture it, if you will. Hair as shiny as a newly minted dime. Eyes as big, round as silver dollars. Skin as smooth and mossy as an old greenback.
I can feel her now.
Age 19. Weight 102. Waist 47.
Waist 47?
That's with the money belt.
Oh.
Now I could arrange for you to meet this Ernestina this very afternoon.
I ain't got time, Mrs. Levi. I've got to bring my niece Ermengarde to New York this afternoon until she forgets a certain Ambrose Kemper.
I could do that for you, Mr. Vandergelder. I know just how to handle such things.
Then I am marching in the 14th Street Parade.
What a coincidence! Guess who's riding on the main float? The spirit of 14th Street, Miss Money! Her mother was a cash, you know.
All right, Mrs. Levi. I'll meet Miss Money at the parade. But I still intend on paying another call to Mrs. Malloy first.
Oh dear, what races you make me run. Very well, Horace. I'll meet you in front of Mrs. Irene Malloy's hat shop at 2:30 as usual.
One more thing, Mrs. Levi. Suppose I decide against Mrs. Malloy, and I don't like Miss Money neither.
Well then, Horace, I have one more name on my list. A name I know as well as my own. But never mind that, it'll come up by itself, all in good time. But wait till you see Ernestina, Horace. A vision, a dream.
It takes a woman all powdered in pink to joyously clean out the drain in the sink. And it takes an angel with long golden lashes and soft-dressed fingers for dumping the ashes.
Yes, it takes a woman. You know, Ephraim, I think I'll have that room done over in blue wallpaper. Yes, in blue. Ermengarde, Ambrose, come out here. We have plans to make.
clerk. Promoted from chief clerk to chief clerk. And if I'm good in 10 years, I'll be promoted to chief clerk again. 33 years old and I still don't get an evening free. When am I going to begin to live?
You can live on holidays, Cornelius.
Did you forget what we did last Christmas? All those canned tomatoes went bad and exploded, and you and I cleaned up the mess all afternoon. Do you call that living?
No.
Barnaby, you and I are going to New York.
You mean close the store?
Uh-huh.
Cornelius, we can't.
We'll have to. Some more rotten tomato cans are going to explode.
Holy cabooses! How do you know?
I'm going to light this candle under them. That's how I know. It'll make such a smell customers won't be able to come into the place for 24 hours. That'll give us an evening free. We're going to New York, Barnaby, and we're going to live. We're gonna have a good meal. We're gonna be in danger. We're gonna spend our money. We're going to be arrested.
Holy cabooses!
And one last thing. We're not coming back to Yonkers until we've each kissed a girl.
Cornelius, you can't do that. You don't know any girls.
I'm 33 years old. I have to begin sometime.
I'm only 17, Cornelius. It isn't so urgent for me.
New York, Barnaby. Elevated trains, the lights of Broadway, the stuffed whale at Barnum's Museum.
A stuffed whale?
A stuffed whale! What do you say, Barnaby?
Yes, Cornelius. Yes.
Now, the first thing to do is to make you financially independent. I know. I will find you a job. Can you dance?
I'm an artist, Mrs. Levi. I paint.
Well then, my card.
Mrs. Dolly Levi, painters taught how to dance.
Now, there's a man at the Harmonia Gardens restaurant, Rudolph Reisenweber. I'll see if I can write you a note and see if he can't get you entered in tonight's polka contest. The prize is a week's engagement and a solid gold cup. Oh, the cups we won, Ephraim and me.
Hold on, Mrs. Levi. Now, no fiancé of mine. Now, no fiancé of mine is stepping foot in a cafe. And I don't mind saying I'm surprised that you have acquaintances in a place like that.
Not acquaintances, Mr. Kemper. Friends. Dear friends from days gone by. My late husband, Ephraim Levi, believed in finding life in any place you could find it. Cafes, ballrooms, yes, even theaters. Why, even when times were bad, every Saturday night at the Harmonia Gardens, down those steps we came, Ephraim and me.
It's all very well to come down like clockwork, Mrs. Levi, but you're asking Ermengarde. You're asking Ermengarde to work there.
It's the only way to show Horace Vandergelder we mean business. Now I want you to go to the Harmonia Gardens restaurant and tell them that Mrs. Levi sent you. And incidentally, tell Rudolph that Dolly's coming back. And I want a table for two and a chicken for 8 o'clock tonight.
All right, Cornelius. Now hold the candle under the ones on top. Not too close. They're swelled up like they're ready to burst. Holy cabooses. I can smell it up here.
Let's get dressed, Barnaby. We're going to New York. Out there's a world outside of Yonkers. Way out there beyond this hick town, Barnaby. There's a slick town, Barnaby. Out there, full of shine and full of sparkle. Close your eyes and see it glisten, Barnaby. Listen, Barnaby. Put on your Sunday clothes, there's lots of world out there. Get out the brilliantine and dime cigars. We're gonna find adventure in the evening, yeah. Girls in white in a perfume night where the lights are bright as the stars. But on your Sunday clothes we're gonna ride through town in one of those new horse-drawn open cars. We'll see the shows, the Delmonico's, and we'll close the town in a whirl. And we won't come home until we've kissed the girl.
Put on your Sunday clothes when you feel down and out. Strut down the street and have your picture took. Dressed like a dream, your spirits seem to turn about. That Sunday shine is a certain sign that you feel as fine as you look. Beneath your parasol
you look at that? 10 o'clock and the shop's not open yet. It's all because of that impending marriage, I tell ya. What marriage? Oh, I thought you knew. Why, the marriage Mrs. Levi is arranging between Mr. Horace Vandergelder, the well-known Yonkers half-a-millionaire, and my employer and friend, Mrs. Irene Malloy. Although if you ask me, he'll never take the place of her late husband, Mr. Peter Malloy. May he rest in peace, wherever he is. I'm not sure. He was a caution, you know. Oh, it's all too much, what with late husbands and new marriages and on top of everything else.
Barnaby.
And on top of everything else, Miss Mortimer returning this hat for the 3rd time. Same old story. She wants more cherries and feathers. To catch a bow, I suppose. Although if you ask me, she'd do better with a nice heavy veil. I told her ribbons down our back is what we'll be wearing this summer if we want to catch a gentleman's eye, but she'd have none of it. Cherries and feathers she wants. And on today of all days, when that poor, dear, sweet Mrs. Malloy has enough on her mind, well, with the... Minnie? With the door. It's stuck. It's stuck? Then push. Or balls or theaters. That's all the proof they need. Take my word for it, Minnie. Either I marry Horace Vandergelder or I break out of this place like a fire engine. Oh no, not Miss Mortimer again. Miss Mortimer, I'll take care of it. No, Minnie, leave it be. You can make another half for Miss Mortimer if you'd like, but I'll wear this one myself. But Mrs. Malloy, you can't! Why, you're a widow, and that hat, it's provocative! That's what! It is, Minnie. Well, who knows who may walk into my shop today? And provocative may be just what I want to be. Mrs. Malloy! gentleman's eye, and he might ask this next question I'm about to ask, but I'm gonna ask it anyhow. Do you love Horace Van de Gelder? No, Minnie, I don't. Peter Malloy, God rest him, was my share of love, but I'm not saying I was shortchanged. Once is enough for a woman, as long as it's true love. And it was that. Minnie, come look! There's two men staring at the shop. Men? Why, I do believe they mean to come in here. Men in the shop? But Mrs. Malloy, what shall we do? Do? Why, flirt with them, of course. I'll give you that short one. Oh, Mrs. Malloy! And you with all that talk about love. Oh, love enough. I've had Minnie. It's a bit of adventure I could do with now. We'll get them all heated up and drop them cold. It'll be good practice for married life. Now you go ahead into the workroom, Minnie. I know some ways we can perk up our appearances. Besides, a bit of a wait will only make them nervous and easier for us to... If you say vampire, I'll scream! Vampire. And so, I'll try to make it easier to find me in the stillness of July, because a breeze might stir a rainbow behind me that might happen to catch the gentleman's eye. Oh, Minnie, we'll get an adventure out of this yet.
We'll get an adventure out of this yet, Barnaby. All day long we wander around New York and nothing happens. And then we come to the quietest street in the city and suddenly...
Vandergelder!
Is he still out there? Go look.
He's sitting right there on that bench. Cornelius, are you sure this is an adventure?
You don't have to ask, Barnaby. When you're in one, you'll know it all right. How much money have you got left?
Not much. 40 cents for the train back, 30 cents for dinner, and 20 cents to see the whale. 90 cents. Why?
When those women come out, we're gonna have to pretend to be customers. Customers, that's it! Maybe the best thing to do is make them think we're rich. Then we won't have to spend anything. We're just two men about town looking for hats for ladies. Good afternoon, Mrs.
Malloy.
Here, Cornelius Hackle.
Here, Barnaby Tucker.
My pleasure, gentlemen. Now, what can I do for you?
Well, you see,
We're
we're two ladies about
and
town.
we wanted to buy a lady
Hats
to
Malloy.
Malloy
Wondered-
with,
We want a hat for a lady, of course, and everybody said to go to Mrs. Malloy's because she's so pretty. I mean, her hats are so pretty.
and so reasonable too, Cornelius. As reasonable as under $1 would leave us to see the whale.
You've got to pay him no mind, ma'am. He's come all the way from Yonkers, New York to see the stuffed whale, and he's all excited. Just keep an eye on that street, Barnaby, and maybe you'll see it pass by.
Is it big black with mean little red eyes?
Yes?
It's on that bench.
Excuse me, but did you say Yonkers, Mr. Hackle?
Oh, yes, ma'am, Yonkers. And forgive me for saying this, but you should see Yonkers. By that I mean perhaps Mr. Malloy would like to see Yonkers, too.
Oh, I'm a widow, Mr. Hackle.
You are? Barnaby, she's a widow! Oh, that's too bad. I'm sure Mr. Malloy would have enjoyed Yonkers, especially in that hat. I mean, on you, of course not, Mr. Malloy. May he rest in peace. You're Catholic, aren't you? Oh, don't let that worry you. I'd be willing to change. Mrs. Malloy, if you should ever happen to have a Sunday free in the near future, I'd be more than pleased to show you Yonkers from top to bottom.
Well, as a matter of fact, Mr. Hackle, I might be there sooner than you think.
Oh, really?
You see, I have a friend who lives in Yonkers.
Do you?
Perhaps you know him.
Perhaps we do.
Oh, it's always foolish to ask in cases like that, isn't it? It's a Mr. Vandergelder.
Horace Vandergelder?
Of Vandergilder's Hay and Feed?
Yeah, do you know him?
No! Oh, no.
Mr. Vandergelder's a substantial man and well-liked, they tell me.
A lovely man, Mrs. Malloy. Just lovely. Has only one fault as far as I know. He's hard as nails.
Cornelius? I think.
Well, now I wonder if your friend might like this one.
Watch out!
begging your pardon, Mrs. Malloy.
Gentlemen, what are you doing?
Help us, Mrs. Malloy. We'll explain later.
Come out of there this minute.
We're as innocent as can be, Mrs. Malloy.
Well, really, Mr. Hackle, Mr. Tucker, I insist you both come out of there or I'll be forced to. Mr. Vandergelder.
Mrs. Malloy! I don't suppose Mrs. Levi is here, is she? She was supposed to meet me on that bench about 10 minutes ago. Well, she can just go looking for me if she comes. When I make an appointment, I like people to be on time. Here's a present for you. Chocolate-covered peanuts. Unshelled. That's the expensive kind. Didn't I just see you talking with two men?
Men? Men, Mr. Vandergelder. What would men be doing in a ladies' hat shop? Now let's go head back into my workroom. I'm so anxious for you to see it.
I saw it last week.
Ow! So you did. Well, Mr. Vandergelder, what's new in the hay and feed business? I understand you have 3 friends, all horse nails.
What on earth are you talking about?
Yonkers. I hear it's a beautiful city.
And who's been telling you about Yonkers, may I ask?
Nobody. A friend.
What friend?
Well, you see,
He?
a customer, Mr. Vandergelder. Someone quite well-to-do, as a matter of fact. He was in here buying hats for ladies. You might even know him, although it's always silly to ask in cases like that, isn't it? It's a Mr. Cornelius Hackle.
Did you say Hackle?
Why, yes.
He just happened to be my head clerk, that's all. Mrs. Malloy, I demand an explanation.
And I'm going to give it to you. Why shouldn't she know Cornelius Hackle? Everybody in New York knows Cornelius Hackle. He's here at the opera and all of the fashionable homes. Why, he's even at the Harmonia Gardens restaurant 3 times a week.
Impossible. He's only got $146.35. And I keep it in my own safe.
Oh, Mr. Vandergelder, you're killing me. He's one of the Hackles. They built the canal.
What canal?
The Panama. The
The
ear.
Panama. Both.
It ain't the same man.
Who took the horses out of Jenny Lynn's carriage and pulled her through the streets? Cornelius Hackle. And who dressed up as a waiter at the 5th Avenue Hotel and dropped an oyster down Mrs. Astor's? Oh, I can't say, but it was Cornelius. Now, don't deny it, Irene. I can see you were taken with him just like everybody else.
Dolly, what are you saying? I've only seen him once in my life. Really, Dolly?
Excuse me.
Of course. Thank you. Hold your tongue! There's a man in there!
Now look here. If there's a man in that closet...
No, Mr. Vandergelder, you can't. It's too dangerous.
No man that hides in a lady's closet can frighten me, Mrs. Levi. Stand aside.
No man indeed. I'm sure you'd make short work of any man. Those muscles. I can see them now, rippling back and forth underneath your coat. Ripple, 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 back and forth, ripple, ripple, ripple. Ripple, ripple, ripple.
For the last time, Mrs. Levi, will you stand aside?
Stand indeed, Mr. Vandergelder. That's exactly what the courts will want to know when you're accused of entering that closet without a search warrant. I mean, what do you stand for, if not for the law of this great land? I know what I stand for. I stand for motherhood, America, and a hot lunch for orphans. Take off your hat, sir. Betsy Ross's flag is passing. Do you see him on the hill at Gettysburg? Neath that great triumphal arch. If you see him as he's trampling through the grapes of wrath, stand up and march, march, march.
Has this not affected you, sir? I came here as an immigrant girl at 14 years of age from a land that oppressed my people, and I must echo here what was said by that great and patriotic American, Moses. America and a hot lunch for orphans. Take off your hat, sir. There's the dear St. Eagle passing. Do you see him on the bridge at Waterloo? Meet that great triumphal arch. If you hear him singing Dixie in the sugar canes, it's been march, march, march. I stand for
Alamo, remember the Alamo. I regret that I had my fancy Ross's clown tree. In the woods of Lincoln, one is my land, two are my siesta.
that great triumphal arch.
But Stonewall Jackson,
If you see
glory,
him,
glory, hallelujah. Stand up and march, march,
7 years ago.
march, march, march.
To form a more perfect union.
March, march. Damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead. March, march, So you see, Mr. Vandergelder, there can't possibly be a man in that closet.
Achoo!
Bless you.
Mrs. Malloy?
All right, Mr. Vandergelder, there is a man in that cupboard.
Aha!
And another underneath that table.
What the devil?
There also happens to be a very simple explanation, but for the present, good afternoon.
Oh my goodness, the whole room's crawling with men. I'll never get over it. I expect to see you this afternoon, Mr. Vandergelder.
You certainly will, Mrs. Levi, with a certain young lady on the main float at the end of the parade. Good day, Mrs. Malloy.
Mrs. Malloy, I can explain. Mrs. Malloy, I can explain everything.
I do not wish to hear any explanations, Mr. Hackle. Just you and Mr. Tucker do me the pleasure of leaving my shop at once, or I'll send for Officer Dougherty.
If you ask me, Irene, getting the law involved is letting them off too easy. I've been adding up the offenses these two have made, and trust me, you have grounds for at least 2 writs, a non-compos mentis, and a garnishee. But the best thing to do is to let them know you tried to settle it amicably first. Have dinner with them.
Dinner!
Is that absolutely necessary, Dolly?
It's the way things are done in the law, Irene. Dinner first, garnishee afterwards.
Well, if it must be, Mr. Hackle, Mr. Tucker, you may take Miss Fay and myself to dinner.
Delighted, Mrs. Malloy. I speak for Barnaby, too. Now, I hear there's a very nice restaurant down at the railroad station.
Oh, no, Mr. Hackle. If the Harmonia Gardens is good enough for your fashionable friends, it's good enough for us. They say they have a lovely orchestra there, Minnie.
Oh, no, we couldn't go there. It's not the money or anything. It's just that... It's the whale. It's the whale. No, it isn't the whale, Barnaby. It's the dancing. You see, places like this have dancing, exhibitions, contests even. And I don't know how, and it would take me weeks, months, years to learn. Mrs. Dolly Levi, 33-year-old chief clerk, taught how to dance.
Now, it's very simple. You put one hand here, and your other hand here.
It's no use. I have absolutely no sense of rhythm.
Absolutely no sense of rhythm is the primary requirement to learning the Gallagher-Levi method. We'll start with lesson 7, the waltz kick turn. It's a simple right foot touch, left foot touch, under, back, around, touch, back, around, through, and oh! Release! Unfurl! Well, that was wonderful. When I think of the lucky women who will find heaven in your arms. Let's go back to lesson 1. Put your hand on her waist and stand. with her right in your left hand. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Look, I'm dancing. Well, I was.
Of course you were, Mr. Hackle. Take the someone whose arms you're in. Hold on to her tight and spin. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Wow, I'm dancing.
Turn around, try floating through the air. Can't you be a little more aesthetic?
Don't you think my dancing has a polish and a flair?
The word I think I'd use is athletic.
My heart is about to burst. My head is about to pop. And now that I'm dancing, who cares if I ever stop? Look at me, everybody. I, Cornelius Hackle, sport and dancing.
You're next, Mr. Tucker. Glide and step and glide.
And everyone, stand aside.
He's dancing.
You can learn to polka if you learn a week or so, or the tango filled with passion seething.
I would join the course of a castle garden show.
Well, whatever you do, for gosh sakes, keep breathing.
For my heart is about to burst. My head is about to pop. And now that I'm dancing, who cares if we ever stop?
Mrs. Levi. How are you, Mrs. Levi?
How are you, Mrs. Rose?
Oh, the same. Pains in my back, aches in my side, stabs in my liver. I'm fine. My daughter Fanny got married, you know.
Did she?
A year ago, last September. It's been a long time since you lived here, Mrs. Levi. Such a long, long time.
Ephraim, let me go. It's been long enough, Ephraim. Every evening after all these years, I've put out the cat, I've locked the door, made myself a little rum toddy. And every night I said a prayer, thanking God that I was independent and that nobody else's life was mixed up with mine. And then one night, an oak leaf fell out of my Bible. I placed it there when you asked me to marry you, Ephraim. A perfectly good oak leaf, but without color, without life. And suddenly I realized that I was like that oak leaf. For years I had not shed one tear or been filled with the wonderful happiness that something good or other would happen. So I decided to rejoin the human race. And Ephraim, I want you to give me away. Before the parade passes by, I'm gonna get in step while there's still time left. Before the parade passes by.
The 14th Street Parade. Everybody will be marching.
Irene, you're crying.
Oh, Dolly, the world is full of wonderful things. Come with us, Dolly.
I will, Irene. I will. Before the parade passes by, move out in front. I've had enough of just
Money. I'm coming. I'm on my way. Hey, you! Stop that! That's my fiancée! Hey! Stop! Thief! Pickpocket! I paid for that girl and I want all the parts! Oh, Miss Money, what have they done to you? Mrs. Levi, what is the meaning of this?
Nothing to worry about, Horace. Just a last-minute substitution. They were having some trouble down at the Mint, and Miss Money was helping out. But she will meet you at 8:30 tonight at the Harmonia Gardens restaurant.
That's the most expensive restaurant in the city.
And well, it should be. The fastest waiters in New York. But wait till you see Ernestina, Horace. All in buttercup yellow and baby pink shoes and humming an old-fashioned tune. Sweet Rosie O'Grady.
All right, Mrs. Levi. But only because I already paid for the introduction, and I might as well get my money's worth. But from now on, you are hereby discharged as my marriage broker. Is that clear? Dolly Gallagher, you're a woman like anyone else. What are you doing? Where are you taking me? Mrs. Levi!
Ephraim, he's as good as mine. I'm gonna raise the roof. I'm gonna carry on. Give me an old trombone. Give me an old baton. Before the parade passes
won't get to the Harmonia Gardens on time. There's one, yoo-hoo!
Oh no, we couldn't do that. It's not the money or anything, it's just that really elegant people nowadays never take hats.
Hats is out.
They all go by streetcar.
Diamond Jim Morgan, J.P. Vanderbilt.
Then by all means, a streetcar. Imagine, just think! I've been elegant all my life and never even knew it.
Of course, if you really want to be elegant,
We do.
you walk. Yes, New York, it's really us Barnaby and Cornelius.
All the guests of Mr. Hackle are feeling great and look spectacular. What a knack there is to that acting like a born aristocrat. We got elegance. If you ain't got elegance, you can never ever carry it off.
All who are well-bred agree many things has pedigree.
Exercise your wildest whims tonight. We are out with diamond gems tonight. Would they be misleading us?
Silver spoons were used for feeding us.
We got elegance. If you ain't got elegance, you can never ever carry it off. Middle class, don't speak of it, savoir-faire. We reek of it. Some were born with rags and patches, but we use dollar bills for matches and Vanderbilt kept house to us.
J.P. Morgan scrapes and mouse to us.
We got elegance. We were born with elegance.
Have you noticed when I hold my cup, the saucer never moves?
And the way I keep my pinky up indubitably proves that we got elegance. We got built in elegance and with elegance we'll carry it on. We got elegance. If you ain't got elegance, you can never ever carry it off. We got elegance. We got elegance. Minnie, look! They're counting their money again. Isn't that just like the rich? Well, gentlemen, aren't you going to escort us in?
Of course, Mrs. Malloy. Pardon me. Mrs. Malloy,
Yes, Mr. Hackle?
as we start inside, may I
Yes, Mr. Hackle.
put my arm around your waist?
Yes, Mr. Hackle. But I might as well warn you, a corset is a corset.
But I don't want to be on stage. I just want to get married.
You heard Mrs. Levi. This is the only way to show your uncle that we mean business. Now, can you cry a little faster? You're throwing me off step. Faster? That's it.
Sweet Rosie O'Grady, my sweet
It is mine order as head waiter of the Harmonia Gardens and your supreme commander that tonight's lightning service will be twice as lightning as ever, or else. I trust that you are finding this table satisfactory, sir. The private dining rooms do cost a bit more, but they do afford the best view of the entertainment.
Cornelius, $1.40, that's all that's left. Are you sure? Count it again.
Prepare yourself for a big night, Minnie. We're out with two of New York's best-known sports.
I did make a mistake, Cornelius. It's only $1.35. I'll count you once more.
Wait, no! We can't afford it!
I'm going to order everything on the menu. Later!
Told you before, sir, you will have to move. This table is reserved for Mrs. Levi and party.
And who do you think I am? Only it's Horace Vandergelder and party. She's in my and party. I ain't hers.
Mr. Vandergelder, of course. It's just Mrs. Levi mentioned nothing about you bringing
my personal physician? That's enough rouge! Doctor!
But Mrs. Levi only ordered a chicken for two.
Chicken? Chickens are dear!
Un pâté maison, soupe de jaune, and pomme soufflé.
Why didn't you tell me this was a foreign establishment? We'll take 2 bowls of rice. Now get out of here. Oh. So, Miss Money, I understand you carry respectable sums in your belt?
Yeah, $2. Only it's in my guara.
Reputations, Cornelius, but Minnie and I don't care who sees us tonight. Well, Minnie, what have you decided?
Oh, I couldn't get anything at these prices. I really couldn't.
Great grindstones, what a sensible girl. Waiter, bring us 4 glasses of beer, a loaf of yesterday's bread, and some cheese.
Yesterday's bread? Oh, Cornelius, now I know how you keep half of New York in stitches all the time. Minnie, have you ever eaten pheasant?
Pheasant?
Say, why the closed curtains? You ashamed of something?
It's not that. I just felt a slight chill, that's all.
So, here, I'll loan you this. Now, let's order something to hold us up until the rice comes. Waiter, would you bring a roast suckling pig with oyster and chestnut stuffing, cheese fondue, and some lady fingers? Now,
show.
It's sweet of you to worry about our digestion, Cornelius, but I'm sure the peasants are fresh. We'll take 4, please. Oh, and a nice red wine.
Wait a minute, no wine.
No wine?
Champagne.
Champagne!
It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience, Barnaby. Champagne and Neapolitan ice cream and hothouse peaches. And Barnaby, give the band leader a nickel and tell him to play To a Wild Rose. We want music while we dine.
Say, this is a cafe, isn't it? Let's dance.
The Vandergelders do not dance. Miss Money were Presbyterian.
All right, I'll dance myself then. Give him $2 for the melody, will ya? And tell him to play something refined. I'm gonna do the hoochie coochie.
All right, Cornelius, I'll send for the band leader, but promise not to order anything else.
You wait here, Miss Money. I'll tell him to play a nice waltz. Give this to the band leader and tell him to play a waltz. Miss Money!
And 2 more pheasants, please. Cornelius!
My purse?
My wallet!
Here, that's my purse. Miss Money, get off the table. You're dancing in the stew.
Excuse me, that's my wallet. I know it's mine because there's nothing in it but $1, 3 dimes, 5 pennies, and a... Cornelius! Cornelius! Did he say 2 pheasants?
3!
4 pheasants! Pheasants for the whole house! And never mind if I don't see the whale, I'll buy my own.
Sir! What's this shouting? How many times have I told you, boy, not to shout? This Harmonia Garden's not one of those.
But sir, the lady, she's here.
Really? Are you sure, boy?
Like you told me, sir, 8 o'clock on the nose. Up pulls a carriage and out steps a tall lady with long blonde hair and the biggest handbag I ever saw.
It is. It's Dolly. She's back.
Rudolph, is it true? I heard someone laughing outside the kitchen window and it sounded like...
It is. It's Dolly. Fritz, tell the band. She just stepped out of her carriage.
Rudolph, it's true, no?
It's true, y'all. She just stepped out of a white and gold carriage pulled by 6 black horses with scarlet plumes.
Rudolph, it's like old times again.
Yes. Come. Dolly's here. She's here.
Sir!
Dolly.
Sir! Sir! Rudy!
Excuse me, girlie. Dolly? Dolly Gallagher? And what are you doing in that getup? And you're half an hour late, and I demand an explanation of...
Ernestina.
Exactly.
Ernestina, whom I trusted.
She wanted to do the hoochie-coochie.
Well, she always was artistic. Horace, I'm going to have our table moved down front. There's someone in the dance competition I particularly want you to see. Now, don't let's say another word about it. I'm as shocked as you are. I can't eat a thing. What have you ordered?
What you wanted, a chicken. Now see here, Mrs. Levi, about this hoochie-coochie girl.
Did you say a chicken? Oh, no, I don't think I can face a chicken. Not a chicken. Not today. Not after what's happened.
Good. Then cancel the chicken.
And bring a turkey.
What are you doing now?
Nothing. Just looking the place over, getting acquainted with the surroundings.
See, that's the problem with you, Dolly. Always wanting to know everything. Always putting your nose into other people's affairs. Anyone who would marry you would get as nervous as a cat.
What? What's that you're saying?
I said anyone who would marry you would...
Horace Vandergelder, get that idea out of your head this minute! Why, the idea of you even suggesting such a thing. Understand, once and for all, I have no intention of marrying you.
I didn't mean that.
Well, I certainly hope not. Horace Vandergelder, you go your way and I'll go mine. I'm not some Irene Malloy whose head can be turned by a few chocolate-covered peanuts. Unshelled. Why, the idea of even mentioning such a thing.
Mrs. Levi, you misunderstood.
Well, I certainly hope not. But if I were to marry again, it would be to a far more pleasure-loving man than you. But never mind that. Here's the waiters with our food. I will serve Mr. Vandergelder, Rudolph. Here's some white meat for you. And dumplings, oh, lighter than air they are. And some giblets, very tender and very good for you, too. No, as I said before, Horace, you go your way and I'll go mine. Start right in the wine. I find you'll feel better at once. However, since you brought the matter up, there's one more thing I'd like to discuss.
I didn't bring the matter up at all!
One more thing I'd like to discuss before we forget all about it. Yes, it's true. I'm a woman who likes to know things, who likes to know everything that's going on, who likes to manage things. However, I would not like to manage something as out of control as your household. You have to do that yourself, God helping you.
It is not out of control.
Very well, we won't discuss it anymore. Have some beets, Horace, they're good.
I don't like beets.
That's nice. No, as I said before, Horace, a complaining, quarrelsome, charmless, friendless soul like yourself is no companion for me. You salt your beets and I'll salt mine.
Ow, you stop saying that!
I won't say another word. Good. Except this. Horace, at your age, you should enjoy hearing the honest truth.
My age! My age! You're always talking about my age!
Well, I don't know what your age is, but I do know that up in Yonkers with bad food and bad temper, you'll double it in 6 months. Have some more beets, Horace, they're good.
I don't like beets, I hate beets!
That's nice. No, the pity of it is, Horace, you could be a completely charming, witty, amiable man if you really wanted to.
I don't want to be charming!
But you are. Look at you now. You can't even hide it. Now sit down, Horace. Let's talk of something else. But before we change the subject, there's one more thing I'd like to discuss.
I don't want to hear it, and you're wasting your time, Dolly Levi. I won't ask you to marry me.
Then I suppose that means you want me to ask you. Well, I'm sorry, Horace, I'm turning you down.
How can you turn me down when I haven't asked you anything?
It's no use arguing. I've made up your mind. Here, let me cut your wings.
I've got a headache. I'm going back to my hotel.
Oh, but you can't go now. The dance competition's about to begin.
Here's the money to pay for dinner. Here's $20 and... Wait a minute. There isn't anything in here but $1, 3 dimes, 5 pennies, and a button. This isn't my purse. I've lost my purse. No.
Barnaby, that purse you found.
Impossible. I can't imagine you without your purse.
It's Vandergilders. We've got to get out of here.
What am I going to do? They don't know me. Stop eating that turkey. I can't pay for it.
Oh, Horace, look, it's the latest thing. A polka. And there's a dancer in particular I want you to see. Rudolph, have our table moved down front so Mr. Vandergelder can better observe his graceful movements.
Wait a minute. That man. That dancer.
Oh, isn't he wonderful? With talent like that, he's sure to win the solid gold cup.
Come along, Mrs. Boy. It's been a perfectly wonderful evening, but I'm afraid we're gonna have to cut it, excuse me, a bit short.
Minnie, look, a polka. Oh, Cornelius, I simply must have one dance.
But Vandergilder's right there. We've got to go.
Oh, we will go, but we'll dance our way out.
Mrs. Levi, this is your doing! What are you up to?
Mr. Vandergelder, I can explain everything.
I don't want to hear your explanations! You're fired! And
Arrest that man!
Get your hands off of me.
Run! Wait, you're under, no, you, wait, are you under arrest? All of you! In the name of the law, stop it! Don't come back here, you fool! You're under arrest! Come back! You can't run from the law! Come back here! All of you! Get back! What do you think you're doing? Come on, get moving! I said you're under arrest! In the name of the law, stop it! Go! Walk! Go, come on, move it! Get moving! Get moving! Get moving! Get to the courtroom! Go! Sit down! Sit down! Give me that!
That's better. Now, you're all charged with disturbing the peace, and assault and battery, and inciting a riot, and several other equally serious violations of the laws of this city. Is there anyone here to speak in your defense? I say, is there anyone here to speak in your defense? Mrs. Dolly Levi, counselor at law.
Your Honor, the defense rests. No, there is no need to call witnesses, ladies and gentlemen. When I see upon that bench a brow that gleams with honor, and a pair of snow-white whiskers that bristle with fair play, and a nose, I ask you to look at that nose, ladies and gentlemen. A nose that shines in the night like a flaming beacon of justice. Would you turn this way a bit, Your Honor, so we can get a better look at your beacon? A living symbol of the motto of this great land, E probuscus unum. Your Honor, I ask for freedom for all of my clients, and a verdict of guilty from the only real culprit here, Horace Vandergelder of Yonkers, New York.
Dolly!
Charged with such crimes as willful destruction of public property.
A curtain torn, a veta bruised, and a solid gold cup bent.
And cruelty to a poor, unfortunate minor. Would you mind repeating that, dear?
Mrs. Levi, if it pleases the court, I have something I'd like to say.
Go right ahead, Mr. Hackle. I was just about to call on you.
Cornelius Hackle, if you dare testify against me, you'll be discharged.
You've already done that, Mr. Vandergelder.
I'll do it again.
And you've done it again, too. But even if you hadn't, I'd still say what I have to say. Now, I don't know much about disturbing the peace or inciting a riot, but what I do know is that what happened to me today, which is the most important thing that can ever happen to a man, might have never happened if I had obeyed your orders and stayed in Yonkers, New York. Your Honor, I am talking about none other than love.
What? You're telling me that after 33 years, you've fallen in love because you take one evening off?
Oh no, Mr. Vandergelder. I didn't fall in love with Mrs. Irene Malloy of this city in just an evening. An hour. Even that's too long. What's less than a minute?
A second.
Less than that.
A moment.
That's it. I'll go slowly so you can get it all down. It only takes a moment for your eyes to meet, and then your heart knows in a moment you will never be alone again. I held her for an instant, but my arms felt sure and strong. It only takes a moment to be loved a whole life long. Isn't the world full of wonderful things? There I sat cooped up in Yonkers for years and years, and all the time, wonderful people like Mrs. Malloy were wandering around in New York, and I didn't know them at all. Now, I don't know if you can see from where you're sitting. Well, for instance, the way her eye and forehead and cheek come together up here. Can you? I tell you right now, a fine woman is the greatest work of God on earth. You can talk all you like about Niagara Falls and the pyramids. they aren't in it at all. Now, of course, I've seen women before, but today, I talked to one, equal to equal. And they're so different from men. Awfully mysterious, too. I bet you could know a woman for 100 years without ever really being sure whether she liked you or not. Today I've lost so many things. My job, my future, everything that people believe is important. But I don't care. Even if I have to dig ditches for the rest of my life, I'll be a ditch digger who once had a wonderful day.
Excuse me. I missed a few words back there, Mr. Hackle. Right after it only.
Gotta take out my time for going. Now.
Well, Horace, that's your life. Without niece, without clerks, without bride, and without your purse. There's only one thing left for me to say.
If it's to ask me to marry you, Dolly Gallagher, never, not in a million years, under no circumstances, will I ever marry you.
Oh, that wasn't it at all, Horace. All I wanted to say to you was, goodbye, goodbye.
Now hold on, Dolly.
It's no use, Horace. I failed. And when a woman fails, there's nothing else she can say. But,
hey,
goodbye, 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 goodbye. Don't try to stop me, Horace, please. Wave your little hand and whisper so long, dearie. You ain't gonna see me anymore. to your old cash register. It's a little empty, but it rings! Don't come a-knocking, I'll be on the bed singing that song that says you dog, I told you so. So, Horace, you will find your life a sad old story when you see your Dolly shuffle off to glory. I should have said so long ago.
And I wouldn't marry you, Dolly. Not if you were the last woman on earth. I didn't need you then, and I don't need you now. And Dolly, Levi, you go your way, and I'll go mine. Dolly, 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 Dolly.
You stamped, Mr. Vandergelder?
What? Oh, it's you, Mr. Hackle. Come crawling back, have you?
No, Mr. Vandergelder. I've come back for my $146.35. You see, I've decided to go into business for myself, and since the only business I know is hay and feed, I'm opening my own store.
And Cornelius has found the perfect location, Mr. Vandergelder, right across the street from you.
So you think you can compete with the Vandergelders, do you? Well, just you try.
Ahem.
Oh, another one come crawling back. What do you want?
My back salary for the past 4 months, $6.
And 12 cents.
And 12 cents.
You can't do this, any of you. I'll go to the courts. I'll get my lawyers.
Why, Horace Vandergelder, if you don't look handsome in that outfit. So few men nowadays have the courage to wear fawn yellow and taupe.
Dolly Gallagher.
I know what you're going to say, Horace. You're not satisfied with Ernestina. But I found you another girl, the ideal wife. But don't let me interrupt you. You were doing something. What were you doing?
Getting Cornelius's money, Dolly. $146.
And 35 cents.
And $6 of mine, plus 12 cents.
And the money my mom left me. $52.48.
38.
48.
All right. If it's money you want, the safe is upstairs.
Money, 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 money. Mr. Vandergelder's money. Vandergelder's never tired of saying most of the people in the world are fools, right? And in a way, he's right, isn't he? Himself, Cornelius, Irene, myself. Yes, we're all fools and we're all in danger of destroying the world in our folly. But the surest way to keep us out of harm is to give us the 4 or 5 human pleasures that are our right in the world. And that takes a little money. The difference between no money and a little money is enormous and can shatter the world. And the difference between a little money and an enormous amount of money is very little. And that can shatter the world too. It's all in how you use it. As my late husband, Mr. Levi, used to say,
Money, pardon the expression, is like manure. It's not worth a thing unless it's spread about encouraging young things to grow.
Anyway, that's the opinion of the second Mrs. Vandergelder. Which reminds me, Ephraim, I'm ready for that sign.
Well, what are you waiting for? That goes upstairs.
Well, as I was saying, Horace, I found you another girl, the ideal wife.
I don't want you to find me the ideal wives. If I want to find the ideal wife, I'll find one on my own. And I found her. And it's you. Damn it.
Horace?
I know I've been a fool about Mrs. Malloy and that other woman, but forgive me, Dolly, and marry me.
Horace Vandergelder, stop right there.
What do you mean?
You know as well as I do, Horace, that you're the first citizen of Yonkers. And your wife would have to be a somebody. So answer me. Am I a somebody?
You are a wonderful woman.
Oh, you're partial. No, Horace, it won't be enough for you to bestow your wife with jewels, to insist that she be a benefactress of half the town. By the way, it's bad business letting Cornelius set up right across the street. Better take him back and let him be your partner.
Partner?
And Barnaby can have Cornelius's old job.
Now hold on, Dolly.
That way we'll all be together so we can dance at Ermengarde's wedding.
That's it! You've gone too far, Dolly. I will dance at no weddings. Besides, I don't even know how to dance, and it would take me weeks, months, years. All right, I'll dance.
Horace, I never thought I'd hear you say something like that.
Excuse me.
That front room, idiot! Well, go on. What are you waiting for?
Horace Vandergelder, what is going on up there?
Oh, nothing. I just thought I would have that front room done up in blue wallpaper.
Why, Horace?
I know the old paper ain't worn out yet, but the fella's just started a business and he needs a good start. And I've always thought, Dolly, that money, pardon the expression, is like manure. It's not worth a thing unless you...
Thank you, Ephraim.
Hello, Dolly. Well, hello, Dolly. It's so nice to have you here where you belong. I never knew, Dolly, without you, Dolly, life was awfully flat, and more than that was awfully wrong.
Here's my hat, Horace. I'm staying where I'm at. Horace, Dolly, you'll never go away.
Wonderful woman.